ate supper and sitting down, hanging out in the living room. And of course, I've been looking for a motor for the go-kart. I really don't want to put any money into that 8-horse Briggs on it. It's not going to be fast enough. I tried to make a little effort to get it running, and it needs a new carburetor, which is only about $12 or $15 for a Chinese one. But I can't get one because somebody decided they wanted to hack my debit card and try to spend money on that. So I had to put a stop on my credit card and cancel it and order a new one. So of course they didn't get any money out of me, so that's good. They caught them, shut down the debit card before they were able to buy anything with it. But so I hadn't been able to even buy a carburetor off eBay, a little Chinese one, just to hear the 8-horse run, and really hadn't. I mean, now I got another debit card for my business, but it for some reason won't take. And of course I could order it on my wife's card, but I ain't really been that worried about it. I've been on the hunt for a Honda 420 or 390. Honda makes a 390, but all the clones are like 420s. And a couple years ago, when I was building that first go-kart, I could get all the Honda clones I wanted. My brother's girlfriend's dad worked at a liquidation place in Belmont, and he'd sell them to me for a really good price, and they had plenty of them. Some of them had bent tanks or broken mounting points, and I would go in there and put one together out of a bunch. It was good, and I think I bought 2 or 3 from him over the time we were doing the go-karts. But anyway, long story short, I've been looking for a 420 Honda clone or a Honda 390, a real one. Talked to him again. He had sold a guy a bunch of them when his liquidation place kind of shut down. They stopped doing all that, selling all that stuff, and they sold one guy a bunch of the horizontal shaft motors. So he got with that guy. Well, all the guy had left was Honda 160s, and that's not enough. I don't know, they're what, 4 or 5 horsepower, if that. So that fell through. I was just fixing to break down and get on eBay. They got a Honda 420 clone on there for about 270 bucks shipped, which is, compared to what I give for them a couple years ago, sucks, but it's still not a bad deal. But right after supper, I was like, I'll just log into Marketplace. Hadn't looked at it all day, and I stay on Marketplace. Like, I've searched and searched and searched all over there, all over Marketplace for a 390 or 420. Nothing. Or they're outrageous or really far away. So I log into Marketplace there, scroll down just a hair, and there sits a Honda 390 in Boonville. Woman named Kathy has it, and $150. Messaged the woman at the address. She said, I'll see you shortly. So that's where I'm headed. Get a little Honda 390, 125 bucks that runs. You can't beat that. I mean, I seen one on Marketplace that something had fell down in the air intake and basically destroyed the motor. It needed a piston, needed a sleeve, it needed a rod, it needed everything. It needed rebuilt. Of course, the guy was absurd for asking it, but he had it listed for $500, even needing rebuilt. Which, like I said, that's silly, but that just goes to show you what people think they're worth, or what. I'm not sure what a new one costs. I could look it up. I guess I will and put it in the video. That's where we're headed to get us a Honda 390. One I've been looking for is 20 minutes away, $125. Sometimes things just fall together, which we don't have it yet. It may fall apart before we get it, but hopefully not. I'll holler back at y'all. Well, I'm at the old woman's house. We just looked at the first one. It don't have any compression. She was nice enough to let me borrow a ratchet and socket. I left mine at my shop. And I got a compression tester. I could tell by pulling the rope and spinning the crank, it just didn't have any. And about 35 pounds of compression's what it had. So 390's a strikeout, but I'm still at her house. She's got a Predator down the road. She don't know what the size is, but she thinks it's a little bigger, which tells me it's probably a 420. She said she'd sell it, so we're gonna go look at it and see what it is. May buy them both for cheap, we'll see. I'll get back with y'all. All right, what's up everybody? I wish the lighting was better in my truck. You know, it gets dark about 5 o'clock now, so these videos ain't gonna look too good. But anyway, I followed the woman down to her son's house to look at the Predator. It was a 420. She brought the socket and ratchet she let me borrow to get the plug out of the Honda. Turns out the spark plug on the Predator 420 was a 13/16, and it was down at her son's house where we went to look at it, and there wasn't any tools there. I could tell by pulling the rope and spinning the crankshaft by hand that it had a good bit more compression than the other one. I'm not sure how much, if it's enough to run, but it has more than 35. I could tell that by turning it by hand. I just told the woman, look, you know, I ain't heard either of them run. I can make you an offer and take a chance on them. Worst case scenario, I can rebuild one of them, maybe take two and make one. Ask her, you know, what would you take for both of them? Like they are, I'm taking a chance. She said, what about 150? I said, well, I can't do that much, being I'm, you know, taking a chance on neither of them running. She said, well, talk to me. I said, well, I'm thinking $100 for both of them. I'll do 40 on the one that has no compression and 60 on the one that seems to have a bit more. She said, sat there for a minute. Will you do 120? I said, yeah, I'll do 120. So loaded them up. Nice people. I mean, the nicest, most down-to-earth people I've dealt with in quite some time. Just so nice, make you feel like family as soon as you meet them. Just really genuine, you know, a lot of hospitality. They were real nice people. And even talked to her husband before I left. He was nice. He just beat lung cancer. He was saying, we talked a good minute out there in the yard just about things, and I just like the way they dealt. You know, they fair and honest, and asked them if they had anything else they were wanting to sell or needed to sell. The old man said, yeah, I've got tools galore. Said, I'm fixing to sell them, too old to use them. Said, we're probably gonna have a yard sale when we do that, but you're welcome to come look at them one day. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna add your wife on Facebook. And he said, yeah, you might want to come back and look at some of that stuff. I said, yeah, I would. So it's always good meeting people like that. That's how you get, people always wonder, you know, how'd you come across that? How'd you buy that for that? You know, I'm sure somebody asked me, how'd you give 120 bucks for two big block Honda side shaft motors? That's how you go and you meet people. I mean, the phones have made everybody so, I don't know the words to explain it. It's separated people from reality, where used to, you know, people didn't have a phone. You just walked up and you started talking to people, and word of mouth got you places. You talked your way to things, and that's just how it is. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I've just walked in a place and, you know, just talked to people. You know, everybody's living through this phone, and I mean, it's just not real. You get deals on Marketplace, somebody's asking a lot for something, somebody lowballs them, they smart off to each other and then never talk again. That's not the way life used to be. Life used to be like it was tonight. You know, a woman's fair, or a man, and that's how you deal. I mean, she didn't know the motor didn't have compression. Her son works out in the oil field, and he give it to her. He said she needed one for a little golf cart she had, and in the oil field when a little something's wrong with them. This one had a wire broke. They replaced the whole motor. They just give it to her. Same thing on the other one. So she didn't know what they was. She said, all I know is what a man tells me about these things. I said, well, there's probably some things that you know about a lot that I don't. And she is just real nice people. But anyway, got one Honda 390 with low compression for, we'll just call it $50, or however you want to figure them. I don't know, 120 bucks for both. And I got one Predator 420 that, as far as I can tell, has more compression than the Honda. I think it's gonna be enough to run. But anyway, I'm just rambling. Want to tell y'all about my spontaneous trip to go buy 2 side shaft motors. Well, went after one and ended up with 2 for way less than what you could buy one for anywhere else. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good one. Be sure y'all subscribe to my channel. It's doing pretty good. You know, it's brand new. If it takes off, it does. If it don't, that's fine too. I enjoy making the videos. But my Harbor Freight haul video is up to about nearly 1,000 views, which is pretty cool. It feels good to see that happen. So, you know, I hope one day that we can get, you know, that one day I hope I can look back and laugh at me being excited about 1,000 views, you know, what I'm saying. One day maybe I'll have 10,000 or something. So anyway, y'all have a good one, be safe, and we'll see you next time. All right, what's up everybody? Got back home with the 2 motors. There's the Honda 390. This is the one that has low compression. The guy told me it was actually still in the new box. Of course, it's used, but they still had the box for it and put it back in it when he gave it to his mom. So hadn't been used that much. He said it's sat outside for a long time, and I think worst case scenario, when I'm afraid the rings are stuck, which with a little transmission fluid they may jump back out. But worst case scenario, I'll buy a set of rings for it and dingle hone the cylinder and a new set of rod bearings, and it'll run again. So I mean, that right there, it just spins freely. No compression really, but that's okay. I'm excited. I didn't give, but we'll say 40 bucks for that, and that's got a lot of good parts. Here's the Predator 420, and it does seem to have compression. We'll have to see how much, if it's enough to run, but you can hear it has compression. So I don't know, I'm excited. That's 2 motors I got. They both been sitting a while, but for what I gave for them, I could rebuild both of them and come out great.